It's a terrible film. Are we even surprised at this point? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mr. Deathbreath. Before we begin, please turn on post notifications and please subscribe. Okay, so let's get into it. The synopsis. A family's on a tropical vacation in a secluded beach, and they start noticing that they start rapidly aging. Okay, so before we start attacking M. Night on this, you might be attacking him based on the trailer or just simply attacking him because he's had quite a few misses. This is actually an adaptation of a graphic novel called The Sandcastle, which was written and created by Pierre Oscar Levy and Frederick Peters. Okay, the good. Let's talk about some of the cast. Alex Wolff, Thomas Mackenzie, Gail Garcia Bernal, Eliza Scanlon, Abby Lee Creshaw, Vicky Krieps, Rufus Swell. Also, a major shout out to Alexa Swinton, who plays the young version of Maddox, and Nolan River, who plays the young version of Trent. These people, these kids, these actors, they all did a good job with the clunky dialogue. Another good, the consistency with aging. You have points where someone will be in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, their 60s, and you notice that they start losing their ability to function. They start having dementia. They start forgetting who they are. They kept that pretty consistent. I didn't see anything that took me out of the film where it's like, oh, that doesn't make sense. You shouldn't be that active for a, 85-year-old. So they kept a good consistency with that. There's also a wonderful scene where someone keeps breaking their bones, and it's a nice little body horror moment. They keep breaking their bones, and they keep rapidly setting. Pretty cool. Really great scene, actually. I really loved it. Another thing, which is kind of strange, M. Night's acting keeps getting better. His movies may not keep getting better, but his acting keeps getting better, which is really great. Also, they managed to capture the horror of the situation, where it's pretty scary. Like, you do kind of get this sense that, wow, like, this is a really scary moment. This is a very scary thing happening. Okay, so the bad... Okay, so the bad really is there's a 45-minute section of the film that just drags. I don't even know if it was 45 minutes, but it felt like it was 45 minutes. There's that point where they're like, oh my gosh, this is happening to us. What are we going to do? It's like, let's just sit on the beach and keep wasting time and keep slowly aging or quickly aging, depending on how you view it. And it felt it. I felt it. I remember feeling it. I remember there was that point where I'm like, dang, I wish I got a hot dog instead of that garbage cheeseburger I received at the theater. It just wasn't very good. And I should have gotten more popcorn chicken, because that was actually pretty tasty. That was what happened, and that was a terrible moment, because I was alone with my thoughts. I should have been engulfed in this film. I should have been so deep that I was focused on every bit, but no, I started thinking, and I don't want to be thinking when I'm in a theater. I want to be thinking about the film, not about the fact that I should order something different, And then it's really like, it's at the point that, you remember when M. Night was so creative and amazing, and he made a bunch of great films, Oh, science is amazing, right? You remember that? But then he started making these, expanded Twilight Zone episode type movies, like The Village. Remember that? Or like The Happening. That was later in his career, when he started being viewed as a has-been. No disrespect to him, that's just how he was viewed. This is another one of those movies. It's a glorified Twilight Zone episode that is just expanded upon. That's what it feels like, It's like the hot streak, ladies and gentlemen, is over. This is no longer, he did interesting stuff with Devil and with, Splits and Glass and The Visit. And, then he falls back into familiar habits. I mean, maybe this would have worked earlier in his career, but it's just one of those endings where you could probably guess the ending. And I know when I was trying to guess the ending, I wasn't wrong with where I was going. It really is just a waste of time. So, as always, let's give it a rating. A through F, the new grading scale of Mr. Deathbreath. What do I rate Old? Old is a C-. I want to add, this isn't a bad film because M. Night made it. It's a bad film because it's a bad film. And the truth of the matter is, it's a bad script. It just isn't a good film. Someone else could have made it. Quentin Tarantino could have made it, and it still would have been just as bad as a film as it is. The only difference is it probably would have had a better trailer and better marketing. Mr. Deathbreath, I thought you hated it. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't a good movie. It was what you expected. It was bad vintage M. Night Shyamalan. This should have been return to form M. Night Shyamalan. But honestly, the trailer was indicative of all those things. Usually I try not to judge my final opinion on a trailer, but if you're feeling like this is going to be M. Night back to his old tricks that he's done, guess what? You're right. don't see this movie. If you do, watch it when it gets on the VOD. You know, you'd be more enjoyable then. I probably would have enjoyed it on VOD. I probably would have given it a higher rating on VOD. But because I had to go and sit in the theater and be quiet and not be able to be on my phone and be distracted, I did like it. Hey guys, thanks for your support. You guys are amazing. I appreciate everyone watching my videos. If you're new here, please subscribe. And as always, I will see you soon.